Welcome back. Today I want to talk more about peer review. Particularly, I want to mention the principle that your research area is very small. In a previous video, I talked about how there are only a few active reviewers in every domain, and they're probably references in your paper. Now, because your research area is small and the number of reviewers is small, maybe 10, 20, 30, at most 100, it's possible that you could meet all of your reviewers if you go to conferences regularly and meet them and shake hands and say nice things to them. This is part of networking as a scholar. Now, of course, if you make friends with a reviewer, he can still reject you. That's true, but friends are usually a little bit more patient with your research and more likely to work with you on making revisions to your paper to make them publishable. So it's worth it to make connections with reviewers at conferences. Not only that, they might be your reviewer, they might also be a co-author with you. They could maybe recommend you for a job if you're a PhD student and looking for work. So there's a lot of great reasons to go to conferences and meet your reviewers. And remember, your reviewers at the conference will also want to meet you, because if he could be your reviewer, you might be his reviewer too. So when you go to the conference, we're all playing the same game. We all want to meet each other for very good reasons of making friends, but also for practical reasons related to our career and cooperating on research. So don't be shy. Go around, meet as many people as you can when you go to an academic conference. And as I just mentioned, try to meet 100 active reviewers. Meet as many as you can. And I know many times I talk to PhD students in my class. They are nervous about poor English. They're afraid to talk to people. So after their session, they run out and see San Francisco for 2 days. Don't do that. You have work to do in the conference. You need to meet those key decision makers, journal editors, possible reviewers, possible co-authors, and they're going to be there in the conference. So meet as many as you can. Then, when you write your paper, here's another idea. Cite researchers who like you. Remember, your reviewers usually come from your paper. So, if you cite people in your paper that you meet at the conference and who already like you, hopefully they will be selected by the editor to be your reviewer, and they will see your paper and say, ah, I remember this guy. We met at the conference. He's very nice, except, hopefully. Anyway, the people you meet at the conference will appreciate if you do cite them in your paper, if they're related, of course. They should be related, somewhere obvious in your paper. Another thing you might do, rather than criticizing reviewers, which we don't want to do because if we criticize them, they might criticize us, we can compliment them. We can try to say something nice about them. We can connect their work to ours in a positive way. We can say we are extending their work, building on their work, that their work was fundamental to our own, and they will feel complimented by our taking the time to positively connect our work to theirs and for appreciating their previous contribution. Another idea is you should look in the journal you are submitting to for the previous 1 year. Another place that editors find reviewers is in their own journal, authors from their own journal. They will look who recently published in my journal about this topic. He probably owes the editor a favor, and he may be selected by the editor to be your reviewer. So what should you do? Look through the journal for the previous 1 year, see who recently published, find him and cite him in a positive way in your own paper, and hopefully he will appreciate that and recommend accepting your paper. It can't hurt anyway to cite that paper, because editors like to see their own journal cited regardless. It increases their impact factor, and also it will connect your article to the ongoing conversation in the journal. So there's a lot of good reasons to cite related papers from the same journal that you are submitting to. For more information about how Taiwanese scholars can publish in international journals, visit my blog, editing.tw/blog. I have articles and videos about how Taiwanese scholars can publish more effectively in international journals. I also have editing and translation service for Taiwanese scholars who are preparing manuscripts to publish. And you can visit our site, editing.tw, to find out more about that. Thank you for joining us.